Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It is Friday, the 6th of July, and it's time for another instalment of the Daily Leeds, everything concerning Leeds United in and around Elland Road and Thorp Arch. It is the weekend, guys. We are another day closer to that opener at Old Trafford against Manchester United. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend, by the way. It starts today. We've got plenty to go into today, not least, of course, Lewis O'Brien. Got it wrong. These things happen. We'll have a chat about that in a sec, though. Before we do get into today's video, please smash a like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and let's get right into it. Right, guys, so let's start with, of course, Lewis O'Brien. I brought the news yesterday that a bid had been accepted. A bid had been accepted for the signature of Lewis O'Brien. And then I started to see bits that it had actually been rejected. And I thought, oh no, what have I done? What have I done? These things happen. These things happen. Can't always be right. I'm not privy to loads of information. Someone got in contact with me, said it had been accepted. I should have kept my mouth shut. But I've been in situations before, guys, where I've had information and chose not to share it. And then it becomes true. And you're like, oh, I should have shared it. So I thought, just go for it, share it. It is what it is, right? We know a bid's gone in. For me now, it's a case of when, not if. I think the deal will be done, okay? We heard from LUFC Fan Zone late on in the evening yesterday. They'd spoken to a source close to the player and had said, yes, look, I back up the claims that Leeds United have indeed submitted a bid for Lewis O'Brien. However, it has not met Huddersfield's valuation and has been rejected. They want 10 million. I'm not sure what kind of figure we put in. But as I say, a bid went in. And maybe that's where that miscommunication's come from. The source, Leeds have had a bid. Yeah, it's been accepted, when in actual fact, it's been rejected. It is what it is. These things happen, right? I'm going to continue to bring you the news that I get. I got it wrong, though, all right? You can't always get it right, can you? It is what it is, oh yeah? But, like I say, this wasn't like no clickbait nonsense or anything like that. It genuinely was information that I believe to be true, yeah? I'm not into all that stuff. Genuinely, that's not my bag. But it just wasn't right. It wasn't right. It is what it is. Fabrizio Romano will get stuff wrong. Phil Hay will get stuff wrong. Maybe they'll keep the cards closer to the chest until it's further down the road. But I'm just a YouTuber, if you could call me that, a YouTuber. I'm just a guy talking into his TV screen, Is what it is, yeah? But anyway, Lewis O'Brien, we know a bid's gone in. Okay, it's not met Huddersfield's valuation. We know that we've offered player plus cash in the past. That hasn't worked. They now want, I'm assuming, what would we have put? 6, 7 maybe, if they want 10. I think ultimately it's a case of when, not if for me. Leeds United will acquire the signature of Lewis O'Brien. That might disappoint a few people, but, come away from that like Premiership mentality, a bit like I've said to you before. I've had to defend Ben White. It's the similar sort of mentality. And if Victor Orta and Bielsa sign off on a player, they know that it's good. Or he's good, should I say. I think the fact that Bielsa's watched him many times tells you all you need to know. Carlos Corberán spoke about the player in some detail and said, look, I understand any interest from any club in him because I know how important he was over the last year, how young he is, and I know the potential he has as a player. Clearly, Bielsa's checked into that as well. He's industrious. He's box to box. He's everywhere. Look, I've seen many glowing reports about him that people know more about football than me, and I'm sold. I'm sold on him. I'm sold on him. Those that are wanting a creative force, a Pereira, for example, who, by the way, is going to Ali Al Hilal. We spoke about that the other day, how it was a life-changing amount of money. And, of course, it's tax-free over in Saudi Arabia. He's going to go over there. Players looking for that type of play. The fact that we've been linked to Conor Gallagher and we're close to getting him. The fact that we have a bid submitted for Lewis O'Brien tells you what kind of midfielder Bielsa feels that he wants. An industrious kind of midfielder that can do it all, can get up and down the pitch, box to box, physical, technical, all this sort of stuff that tick the boxes, yeah? So again, I'll reiterate my stance. It's a case of when, not if. I think the next signing you see come through the door will be Lewis O'Brien. Of course, that then leaves us with a winger. Who is this winger option? Well, we've had a number of links. We've seen a number of clubs join the race for Mikkel Damsgaard. Can't see it happening. It's been reported that we're apparently ready to do battle with Everton and Leicester for Real Madrid outcast Marco Asensio. Again, Phil Hay poured water on that, and you can understand it. Asensio plays for Spain. He's playing in the Olympics. Seems a little bit out of our reach. Three that I'm more sold on, and I see it all the time. Oh, not him again, not him again. But it is what it is. I think Leeds are keen on Dan James. Yeah, it was being reported again in The Athletic that Leeds could be set to reignite their interest in Man United's Dan James. Apparently, it's a £15 million fee that the Manchester United are asking for. I've seen people say 40, 50, 60. I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't know what papers they're reading. Manchester United could never command a fee of that much for a player like Dan James. Apparently, he's on Leicester's radar as well. I'm not quite sure about that. I see him coming to Leeds United if indeed we were to put in a bid. Noah Lang, he's another again. He's looking to negotiate a departure away from Club Brugge. I believe they're trying to negotiate a new deal. He doesn't want to know. We know that he spoke to Bas Dost, a player within the side, saying he wants to move on. I think for me, if we can get Lewis O'Brien done and the figures that I mentioned, if we do end up having to meet Huddersfield's valuation of 10 million, then I still think there's enough in the coffers there for us to be able to secure the signature of one of three, which are Noah Lang, Dan James, or Ryan Kent for me. But it all depends on a number of factors, as I continue to say, and I bet it feels like Groundhog Day. It does for me. It does for me at the minute because there's not a lot out there. There's continuous link. We know that it's credible. Lewis O'Brien, a bid's gone in. We just have to wait and see with that one. But we know with Club Brugge, are they willing to move him on now they've brought in Collado? Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United willing to move Dan James on now that Rashford's going to have to go for surgery? Are Rangers going to want to keep hold of Ryan Kent if they can get into Champions League football? These are a number of factors. Maybe that's why, Ort said the winger's going to rumble on. The winger's going to rumble on. But no, like we did before in the last week of the transfer window, last summer, we brought in the likes of Rafinha, Llorente, Victor Orta will be working behind the scenes, believe me, of that. We know, guys, as well, there's a host of players at the football club currently that aren't featuring in pre-season, that aren't featuring in the under-23s, and them guys are the likes of Robbie Gotts, Niall Huggins, Jordan Stevens, Bobby Camwer. Remember, Stevens and Camwer were sent out on trials and couldn't secure a permanent move away. Bryce Hosanna, none of these lads have been involved in pre-season for the under-23s or the first team. We're hearing that Niall Huggins is close to signing for Blackburn Rovers, so it looks like he might be moving on in the not too distant future. We had a big update as well on Diego Llorente. A source close to the player says there is a strong possibility that Diego will miss the start of the season through injury. He has a leg muscle injury, which will take about 2 to 3 weeks for it to heal. It's not major, but it's probable that he won't be ready for the start of the Premier League season, which isn't ideal because for me, Diego Llorente is one of the two. He has to be in there. We've seen how much we improved when he was in the side last season. I think him coming out, Cooper obviously isn't quite there yet. I think if Calvin's good to go for Manchester United, we'll see a centre-back partnership of Robin Koch and Liam Cooper. If they do well, then it'll be on Diego Llorente and Pascal Strout to get them two out of the side for me. I know there's been a lot many people want to see Koch in his preferred possession instead of the DM, and it looks like Bielsa will be forced into a forced change because it looks like Diego Llorente is going to miss the start of the season, which is a massive hammer blow. Also, guys, I don't know if you actually seen, but Phil Hay did a brilliant article in The Athletic yesterday, an interview that he did with Illan Meslier, and I wasn't aware of this, but actually Illan Meslier was close to signing for Chelsea. I wasn't aware of that, and I just wanted to bring you an excerpt from that story just so we could have a little chat about that. I will put the link to the full article in the description, but it says after he'd come through and broken through at Lorient, it says Mellier's name spread around the French game. Within a few months of agreeing a professional deal in 2018, Monaco made a bid for him, reported to be worth close to 10 million. And at that point, guys, he'd not even played a senior game. This is the lad's potential. Yeah, that's why when people, PSG were previously sniffing around and people laughed and said not a chance without actually doing any research, just seeing the thumbnail or whatever and going, oh, it's BS. It wasn't. You know what I mean? Monaco bid 10 million for this kid before he even made a senior appearance. He was on Lorient's book for almost a decade, but he didn't want to leave the club without actually representing them for the first team. He's got a good head on his shoulders, so he stayed at Lorient. He wanted his first professional game to be at his hometown club. And then at the very end of the same summer window, Chelsea came calling, which was news to me. Lorient were ready to sell. They wanted to move him on. Obviously, probably needed the cash at the time. But Meslier considered the offer and bravely said no. Chelsea agreed with Lorient and then asked me. They said, are you ready? And he said it was 24 hours before the end of the window. I said, no, it's too late. If you came for me 1 or 2 weeks earlier, then I might have said yes. But now it's too late. I can't sign for you. It's too late in the window. Which is mad, isn't it? Because he could have been at Chelsea, he could have gone into the ether. Maybe he would have got a breakthrough with Kepa being there, having an absolute stinker. Maybe they wouldn't have turned to Mendy. I'm not too sure. But he went on to say it was a difficult decision. Chelsea are a big club. You would ask me, why not go? Which is true. Why at the time not go? And he said, there are lots of keepers in Chelsea's academy. It's very hard to grow up there. And sometimes you sign and you have to go out on loan, things like that. It's better, I think, to work in your club and then sign to be a number one at, say, 24, 25, not at 18 years old. Chelsea plan to court him again, but were hit with a FIFA transfer ban in the summer of 2019 and did not return with another offer. And obviously, Leeds United, Lorient had a change of coach. He was told he would be number 2. He moved to Leeds United, came a number 2 at Leeds United, obviously broke through to the first team, and we secured him for as little as 5 million. This kid's going to go to the top. It's clear his pedigree was there before he even broke into the first team. The fact that Chelsea came knocking, the fact that Monaco came knocking with a £10 million bid, and we picked him up for 5 million. And I think that's a great story. I didn't know that, and it's a great article. There's loads in there, boxing matches and all sorts were going down at Lorient. Make sure you read the article. But that as well also should feed into the naysayers when they talk about Lewis O'Brien, for example. We picked this kid up for 10 million at the age that he is at, and Bielsa works his magic. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You don't not have to pay over the odds for players, And I think sometimes where we're at, where the current generation or what it's like on football Twitter, I don't know. Just in general, like it seems that if a player's not got a foreign sounding name and isn't costing X amount, then they're no good. And it couldn't be further from the truth. And just to finish as well, guys, we're gonna finish with some news that broke yesterday that Leeds United would be introducing fan tokens created by a new partner going by the name of JUSTJOE. It's a fan token that will create a new experience for Leeds United supporters across the world. So naturally, I'm intrigued, Dan. I want to have a look. I don't know much about it. Well, it actually turns out it's cryptocurrency. I was talking about it on Before the Whistle Blows last night, and West Ham fans actually campaigned against it, and it was removed. And I'm hoping something similar will happen at Leeds United, because it turns out that this is not a good thing. I seen a tweet say that Man City, Arsenal, Everton, and now Leeds have signed up to partner with JUSTJOE, and we have to just sit back and watch fans have their power and wallets usurped by traders. He said, in years to come, we'll look back and wonder why no one in authority took preventative action against this. And it turns out like honest people put their money in and they're just being scammed by traders, them that are aware of how cryptocurrency works and are just pilfering the honest, hard-working, working class football fan that's willing to put in thinking they're going to get something from their football club. It's a cryptocurrency recruitment scheme dressed up as fan engagement. Okay. That was a tweet that was put out by the Football Supporters Association, the national one. Leeds United Supporters Trust have also said this has not been discussed with us. We've approached the club for comment and will be issuing a full statement in due course. So it's something that hasn't gone down well with the Leeds United fan base. If you were looking at it and intrigued by it and interested by it, I would say to you, stay away from it. I don't know nothing about cryptocurrency, but when it's dressed up as fan currency or fan tokens and you can get special things and you can have a say in your football club, it's all BS, guys. It's all a load of tripe. You don't want to get involved. I read a story on it actually that was tweeted by Michael Norton from the Square Ball, and Atletico Madrid fans, were using it, and they were buying tokens in their club, and obviously they were close to winning La Liga. And then what happened in the last game of the season on the 70th minute, when it was all but secured, the currency suddenly started dropping, and those that had bought a currency would expect it to rise because they've just won La Liga, but some schneedy stuff went down and people were taking just dodginess, right? I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. But all I know is from what I've read and what I've seen, stay the feck away from it, all right? That would be my advice to you. As I say, it is a cryptocurrency recruitment scheme dressed up as fan engagement. And I ain't about that life. And I don't think the club should be about that life. And the Leeds United Supporters Trust have gone to them. It's gone down like a lead balloon. West Ham managed to have this taken away. Corey was telling us they jumped on and the fans kicked off and it went away. Hopefully Leeds United voice will be taken into consideration and that will happen with us too, because we don't need this sort of stuff. We don't need honest working class fans having the money pilfered from these big organisations. And we know that gambling places are going to take a step away from football. Is it going to be replaced by, another loophole in these, get rich quick cryptocurrency schemes? I don't know. I don't know. But just stay away from it would be my advice to you. But that's it for today's Daily Leeds. As I say, I know it feels a bit like Groundhog Day, but we're going to start seeing some rumblings. And of course, from next week, it's going to be all focused on the season ahead, the games that we're due to play. Of course, we've got Manchester United coming up as well, which is huge. Thank you, as always, for your continued support on the channel. The video did great yesterday. Thank you for those that support. Before the Whistle Blows has been doing great as well. I've got another live stream set up on Saturday with a few faces you'll know from the Leeds United content creation world. We're just going to have a chat about the season and what we expect. We've also got a live stream as well for the Villarreal game as well. So I'll be doing that on Saturday. So thanks as always for supporting the channel. It means the absolute world. Smash a like on your way out and enjoy your weekend. Peace out. Leeds.